ACDS is built around a fully data-driven architecture. This allows you to combine different presets to create a wide variety of companion behaviors while using the same underlying system. ACDS uses two primary presets, the behavior and the skill preset, and a third main preset that combines both of them into a single asset that is assigned to the companion. Let's start by creating a new behavior preset. Navigate to the presets folder, located inside the blueprints folder of ACDS. You can duplicate one of the included presets and override its values, or create a completely new one. To create a new preset, right-click inside the folder, go to Data Assets, and select Data Asset. Depending on your Unreal Engine version, this menu may appear slightly different. In the Asset Selection window, search for Companion Behavior and select it. Give it a name, save it, and open it. The preset already comes with a set of default values. Feel free to experiment with different configurations. This preset is responsible for defining the companion's movement personality. Now let's create a skill preset. Navigate to the presets folder inside the blueprints folder of ACDS. Just like before, you can duplicate one of the included presets and override its values, or create a completely new one. To create a new preset, right-click inside the folder, go to Data Assets and select Data Asset. In the Asset Selection window, search for Skill Config and select it. Give it a name, save it, and open it. Unlike the previous preset, most of the variables in this one are left unassigned. This is because the skill preset defines the exact type of companion you want to create. We'll briefly cover some of the most important parameters. For a complete description of every available variable, please refer to the online documentation. The first parameter is Skill Execute class. This is where you'll assign the skill component trigger that contains the logic executed every time the current skill is triggered. Keep in mind that if you want to create a skill with custom behavior, you'll also need to create its own skill component trigger. Now let's create the skill component trigger. Navigate to the Skill Triggers folder inside ACDS. Within the main subfolder, you'll find the parent component that you'll use to create your custom skill component trigger. You can create your skill component trigger by inheriting from this parent component, or simply duplicate one of the existing ones and override its behavior. Open the component and implement the Execute Skill event. This event contains the logic that will run every time the skill is executed. Feel free to use the included components as a reference. Once your skill component trigger is ready, assign it to your skill preset. Next, select a role for your companion. Be careful with this setting. The selected companion role should always match the functionality implemented inside your skill component trigger. Changing the companion role also changes some internal system behaviors. Has Engage Checker parameter should normally remain disabled, except for companions using the healer role. Healer companions need to periodically check whether their target requires healing. The following parameters control different aspects of the skill, such as health, duration, effect intensity, health multiplier, time multiplier, and more. The next group of parameters defines the bone names used by the companion mesh to rotate the skill arm. These settings are required for proper aiming. For a detailed explanation of each parameter, please refer to the online documentation. Next, you'll find the parameters that define the companion's visual and audio personality. Here, you can configure its sounds and companion colors. Finally, we reach one of the most important sections. Here, we configure which classes can be affected by the companion and whether Team ID evaluation should be enabled. Make sure to include your NPC classes inside the Effect on variable. Take a moment to configure each parameter. For this example, we'll use the included Attack preset and just add the game animation sample character to the affected classes. Now that we've created both presets, it's time to combine them into a single main preset. This also allows us to mix different behavior and skill presets, creating many more companion variations. To create a new main preset, navigate to the Presets folder inside the Blueprints folder of ACDS. Just like before, you can duplicate one of the included presets, override its values, or create a completely new one. ACDS also allows you to assign a different behavior preset while the companion is engaged with its target. This allows the companion to behave differently while it's idle and while it's actively engaging a target. Assign the presets you created earlier. Save, and that's it. Now let's assign the main preset. Return to your player character blueprint. As mentioned earlier, how you assign the preset variable depends entirely on your own project. For this example, we'll simply assign the main preset we just created manually. Now let's configure our NPCs. In order for ACDS to interact correctly with your NPCs, we need to implement a few additional features. For this example, we'll use the same character included in the game animation sample. First, let's configure the NPC to work with ACDS Combatant System. Open Class Settings, and under Implemented Interfaces, search for Combatant, then add it. Once added, a new category will appear inside the My Blueprint panel. It contains two new functions. The first one is Set Team ID. This event is used to assign the team ID for each NPC. How this is handled depends entirely on your project. For this example, we'll assign the team ID manually. The second function is Get Team. Here, you'll return the team ID assigned to your NPC. ACDS automatically calls this function whenever it needs to retrieve the team ID. For this example, we'll simply connect our team ID variable to the output. At this point, the companion can already interact with all the classes assigned to combatant mode using team ID distinction. Now, place another copy of the player character into the level. If we test the project now, you'll notice that the companion doesn't interact with the new character. This happens because the preset we're currently using has the combat role. Combat companions ignore targets that share the same team ID as the player. Since we're using the same character class, both instances have the same team ID. There's one more thing to keep in mind. The companion control component uses an internal function to search for new targets. This function performs its detection using the visibility channel. If we open our NPC and inspect its collision settings, we'll see that the visibility channel is currently ignored. Simply block this channel, and the companion control component will now be able to detect the NPC correctly. If your project still requires the visibility channel to be ignored, I recommend creating a custom collision channel and using it instead. For this demonstration, we'll simply assign a random team ID to each player character instance, so every instance gets a different team ID. Return to your level, press play, and notice how the companion can now interact correctly with the NPC. Naturally, the NPC still won't receive any health changes. Every project implements its own health system, so you'll need to create your own logic for applying damage or healing. You can use the examples included in ACDS as a reference. just like we did with the Combatant interface. We also need to implement another interface to establish proper communication between ACDS and our NPC. Open your player character blueprint. Go to Class Settings and under Implemented Interfaces, search for Interactable Effects, then add it. Once added, a new category called Healer will appear inside the My Blueprint panel. This category contains two new functions. The first function is Needs Healing. It returns a Boolean value. ACDS uses this function inside the Engage checker to ask the NPC whether it needs healing. You'll need to implement your own logic to determine the return value inside your NPC. For this demonstration, we'll simply return true manually. Depending on the NPC's response, ACDS will decide whether to execute the companion's skill. When using a healer companion, ACDS will execute the Apply Healing function. Implement the Apply Healing event inside your NPC. This is where you'll write the logic that modifies your NPC's health. Now let's test the included healer preset. Assign the preset to the selected preset variable. Since we're now using a healer companion, it only affects allied team IDs. That means we can use the same team ID for this demonstration. Because we're using one of the presets included in ACDS, don't forget to add your NPC character class to the skill setup. Compile and save, press play, and test it. As you can see, this preset behaves differently from the previous one, even though it's using exactly the same system. Congratulations! You now have a fully functional companion running inside your project. From this point on, you can start creating your own behaviors, skills, and gameplay experiences.